Hey, what's up guys, Houston here. And for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. And for those of you that's been following me and supporting me, as always, salute. As well as my patrons that support me, double salute. Now, today's video is going to be an interesting video because we're finna dive in, because we're going to be talking about how to buy a car with no credit, no social security number, a bankruptcy, and a repossession. So we're really going to be diving in on. So we're going to be learning 3 ways in terms of how all of this is possible. So further ado, let's dive into this. First of all, we talk about Lendbuzz. All right. Now, some of you may already be familiar with Lendbuzz. It's a new platform. And instead of them looking at your credit, okay, or if you don't have a social, this is what Lendbuzz is looking at. And I guess it's mainly focusing more on foreign people that don't have a social and don't have credit or whatever. So what they're doing, they're going to be looking at your employment, okay? Then they're going to be looking at your education. Excuse me, let me grab another pen right quick. So they're looking at your employment, your education, your savings, and earning potential. So those are the things that they will take into consideration in terms of helping you buy a car. Now, here's another company that I mentioned several times in other videos. It's called Stilt, S-T-I-L-T. Alright, and they look at your education. Okay, so they look at your education, your employment, as well as your income. Okay, so those 2 companies alone is starting to again validate what I'm saying, that it is possible for you to get a car loan with no credit, no social, and we're going to be talking about bankruptcy and repossessions as well, but I definitely wanted to point out these other companies. Now you have road loans. Alright, now many of you may have heard of road loans. If you heard of road loans or these other companies and you actually took advantage of their opportunities, put a comment below. Let me know, hey, what did you think about them and stuff like that, so that way the community can also know, hey, what was the process and did you have challenging time with it? Did they report on your credit report on time? What's going on? All right, but with road loans, again, no credit, which is very good. Okay, now with road loans, they state their average monthly income. You have to have an average monthly income of at least $1,800. Okay, so if you're a person that's on fixed income, but you have enough income that's coming in. Now, here's something I want you all to understand. If you have a fixed income, but you may be retired on Social Security and stuff, but at the same time you may be renting out a room, don't forget to include that income. All right, a lot of people, they forget about that other income they may be receiving from renting out their room and stuff like that. So that's something that's very important. Okay, now here's the thing about here's the thing people like about road loans is you can buy from private sellers. So that's a great thing about it. You can actually buy from private sellers, okay? And so the average amount they will loan you is anywhere from $5,000 up to $75,000, okay? So those are the 3. Again, if you have no credit, no social, these are probably your top 3 that will help you be able to get you into a car if you have no credit, no social. Now we're going to talk about if you have bad credit. Okay, if you have bad credit and you done went through a lot of challenges and stuff, let's talk about some of the credit unions that can help you. With the credit unions, they have fresh start auto loans, okay? Sorry about this, guys. But I just want to be clear, all right? So they have fresh start auto loans, all right? Now, you have, it's called Peach State Credit Union. Then you also have In Touch Credit Union. If you guys, any of you guys used any of these credit unions, let me know. Have you went through their process to buy a car? Was it challenging for you to buy a car through these credit unions and things of that nature? Now here's another one. It's called Focus Credit Union. Okay. Now with Focus Credit Union, they actually just put their information out there, all their requirements and stuff. So with Focus, they want you to have 6 months. 6 months on the job. Then they want you to do direct deposit. So you have to do direct deposit with Focus, okay? And so they want you to have at least 2 pay stubs. They want to verify the your job to make sure that you're going to be on your job longer than that 6 months. So they're going to do an employment verification, okay? So they're going to also want 2 emergency contacts. So they definitely, if you don't pay this car or whatever, you're not going to just walk away, okay? Now, the limit on the car loans that they offer is up to $20,000, or it's half of your annual income, okay? So it's half of your annual income. So that's for Focus. Now, let's talk about Navy Federal. Because a lot of people, they're maybe members of Navy Federal Credit Union and stuff, and they need a car and stuff, but they really don't know the criteria, okay? Now, here's the thing with Navy Federal, okay? Now, with Navy Federal, they're going to do a hard pull on your TransUnion, okay? So that's out the gate. So when you're trying to get a car loan through Navy Federal, they're going to do a hard pull. Now, in terms of like the credit scores, again, with Navy Federal, because they do a lot of internal scoring and stuff like that, you may get a car loan with a 530 credit score. Again, it's totally up to them. For most people, it's definitely suggested to at least have a fair credit score and have a good income, all right? But at the same time, again, because they have internal data that they're using, so again, what helps you to build a relationship with Navy Federal? Say that you have challenging credit, right? And we talked about doing the late night hack. And for those of you who have not seen that video, put a link, say, hey Houston, let me see the late night hack video, and I'll send it over to you. But in terms of, and that's for like people that had a 530 credit score that still end up getting like a $25,000 credit card with Navy Federal. Now also, and if you want to try to become a member, I do have a video that goes into detail of how to become a member. So put a comment in the comment section, let me know, hey Houston, can I see that video? Now, back to the car loan situation, here's something that I would definitely tell you. If you have been denied a car loan with Navy Federal, I would not wait around to see what the letter's going to say. I would probably call them up, and and see what else that you can do to possibly help get approved for that car loan. Now, here's some things that I would tell you to help make you have a stronger case in terms of building a relationship with them. And that would probably be, again, if you're able to have direct deposit with them. If you already have like a pledge loan with them. If you have a secured card with them. So if they see that you already have these other accounts with them and you're making payments on time and stuff, this will give you a higher chance of approval for a car loan. Okay, even if you have challenging credit, because again, they're looking at internal data. So that's the reason why I'm suggesting that you take these steps in order for you to get it approved with a Navy Federal car loan, even if you have challenging credit. All right, now we're going to talk about, and there's one more thing I want to tell you guys. If you had a car repossession, okay, here's two systems that you may want to check, two credit bureaus you want to check. Okay, if you had a car repossession and seeing what's in the systems and stuff, here's two. I'll write it here. Okay, you have LexisNexis. They have a car report. So you may need to freeze that if you're trying to go for an auto loan. And then you have Core Score. Okay, and you have a Core Score report. And so I would probably check those two, or make sure I freeze those two if I'm trying to get an auto loan, especially through the banks, right, through traditional lenders and stuff like that, because more than likely they're going to pull these here reports here to see what's going on. So that's the reason it's important for your Navy. That's the reason it's important to actually always know what's on those external credit files instead of those big three, to know what those other credit files have, so that way you can freeze those so that you can have an advantage of being approved for a car loan. Now, here's the lenders we're going to be talking about, that if you have a bankruptcy or a repo, okay, and this is very important. So where you have your bankruptcy, where you have your bankruptcy and your repo, so you have Prestige. So with Prestige Finance, So with Prestige Finance, it's okay to have a bankruptcy. So your bankruptcy is okay. All right. So which is good. So if you had a bankruptcy, you're okay. Now in terms of, here's the thing about it. Your income, your monthly income has to be between $22.50 and $27.50 if you're co-applicant. So if you're co-applicant, it's $27.50, $22.50 if it's you as the individual. Okay. Now, if you're self-employed, they don't want to deal. It's hard for them to verify employment on self-employed. Now, I want to elaborate on this no self-employed, because this is very important, because some of you guys may be DoorDash or Uber or Lyft or something like that, and you're trying to get a new car and stuff like that. I'm going to talk about some of the companies that you can go to, but here's the thing about it. That's the reason I tell you guys, you should operate as a business. And in terms of when you look at your credit report, you do not want to have self-employed on your credit report. Because when you have self-employed and not an actual company on there, you have a higher chance of being denied not only a car loan, but credit cards as well as personal loans also. So that's the reason. If you are working for DoorDash, or you're an independent contractor or something like that, and you need help with properly setting up your company and stuff, click the link below and set up a consultation with three-way funding. Because again, by you setting the company up the proper way and you actually showing yourself as an employee of your own company, you have higher chance of not only just getting loans, but to be able to get qualified for a mortgage as well, if that's something you're interested in, or especially if you're trying to raise capital for real estate investment or something like that. All right, so if you have questions and you need consultation, click the link below. So Prestige, again, they usually won't deal with people with self-employed because it's hard for them to verify that you actually run the company or you actually bringing in income. So that's the reason. All right, now you have My Auto Loan. Now with My Auto Loan, they're a marketplace, okay? And so what that means is that you'll put your information in the system and they'll find different lenders and stuff to help you buy a car and stuff at a reasonable rate. Now, in order to qualify for them, credit score has to be at least a 575, okay? And the income has to be at least around $21,000 a year. So you have to have at least $21,000 a year annual income, right? So that's just some of the breakdown of that. Now here's another one. You have auto pay. Now again, with auto pay, it's another marketplace. It's another marketplace. Now, in reference to this here, they mainly help with, if you say that you bought a car, all right, and you have a high interest rate, you may have a 20-some% interest rate or whatever. Well, with auto pay and marketplace, what they try to do, they try to find a lender that's willing to help you refinance that car loan to give you a lower interest rate so you keep more money in your pocket. All right, because it don't make sense. You got a $5,000 car and you're paying $600 a month. It just doesn't make sense. It's just a waste of money. That's almost a Mercedes-Benz or BMW payment, right? So, but you're paying that much because you have a high interest rate and bad credit. Now, again, with auto pay marketplace, again, they won't do a hard pull. Okay. So they won't do a hard pull up front. The only time you do a hard pull if you actually accept or you actually go with a lender that offers you a more comparable rate versus what you have. All right, so just keep that in mind. Now, here's another one. It's called New Roads. Now, here's the good thing about New Roads. What they do, they're another platform that help you if you have bad credit. What they do, they help you find the lowest rates in the market to get a car loan. All right, so that's their platform. They help you find the lowest rates in the market to get a car loan. But another thing about it is that you don't have to, it's a no down payment. So you don't have to put a down payment. And also, you can have an open bankruptcy. So you can have an open bankruptcy as well as a repossession. Okay? So that's the good thing about New Roads. Alright? Because, again, you may be in the process of bankruptcy and stuff like that, and you need a car loan and stuff. Well, this here lender, New Roads, will definitely be able to help you. Alright? Now, here's another one that accepts the open bankruptcy. And it's called Credit Acceptance. Alright? Now, with credit acceptance, again, open bankruptcy. It's okay. They're willing to work with you. Again, some of these may have that buy here, pay here platforms and stuff. And another thing, guys, let me help you understand. If you're with a lender that has a buy here, pay here, and you wanted to help you build up your credit, this is what you can do. Alright? So if you have a debit card, you hook your debit card up to the extra card. Okay, it's called the extra debit credit card. So with all of your monthly transactions, what'll end up happening is that they will tally those up and they'll report it to the credit bureau. So if you're with a buy here, pay here, and you're paying with your debit card and they don't report, you can sign up for this card. It's an actual app that you can sign up with, and they will report information to the credit bureau. So that's the way you get around that buy here, pay here. If they're not reporting, that's okay. You can use this here card and hook your debit card up, and then when you pay with your debit card, they will actually report that transaction. Okay, and that's very important to help you build your credit. All right, another card, if you have challenging credit, is the Credit AI. Okay, so here, those are just a few things that you may want to think about in terms of when you're trying to build your credit. Especially, again, a lot of people in the market, they do have that buy here, pay here. But again, those buy here, pay here companies are not willing to report. So using this here company here, they'll actually report it to your credit bureau. All right. Now, here's the thing about it. Some people say, what about Carvana? Okay. Now Carvana, they're very good. They offer used cars and stuff like that. But something just recently happened with Carvana, okay? One, they don't accept open bankruptcy. But what actually happened is Carvana is in trouble now because they're starting to lose their rights to sell in certain states and stuff. North Carolina, they lost their rights to sell until 2022. Alright, and it's because they was using these platforms just to store cars and stuff like that. And because they did that, people call it a nuisance and stuff like that. Even in California, it's the same problem. So they're starting to take away their license to sell in certain states and everything. So just keep that in mind, that if you're considering going through Carvana to buy a car and stuff, they may not be able to sell you that car because they may not have the legal right to, because some states are revoking their dealer's license, okay? Now, here's one, Capital One. Now with Capital One, they have, they do a no hard pull or no credit check, okay? They do a no hard pull, basically. And so what it is that with their no hard pull, your income, you have to be the age of 18. Your income has to be between $1,500 to $1,800 to qualify. Okay? And again, I would tell you, when you're targeting the banks, then I would definitely check. If I've had a repo in the past, I would definitely check these here two systems, or at least I would lock these two systems before I would apply with like the banks and stuff like that. All right, so that way you have a higher chance of approval. Now, this is the whole spread of actually how you can manage to get a car loan with no credit, no social, bankruptcy, and a repossession. You have 3 different ways that you can actually do that. So this is Houston with 3-way funding. I appreciate you guys supporting me. For those of you just finding the YouTube channel, thank you. Please remember to subscribe. And for those of you that's always supporting me, salute.